unforgettable, yeah. Remember the name. Oh, yeah. We talk about topics, we say what we mean. No games, we keep it real and raw. Let the truth come through. Judgment free zone. Judgment free zone. This space is for you. Come get comfortable, relax, get loose. Kick off your day, shake off that bruise. Welcome to the unfiltered corner. It's true. The unforgettable's here. I'm riding with you. The Bible's here. And we're riding with you. Hello, hello, you guys. Welcome to the Unfiltered Corner. I am your host, the Unforgettable. How is everybody doing on this beautiful evening? I hope everybody's doing well. I want to make sure that I can hear myself, so I go and I always look on my phone to make sure you guys can hear me, because sometimes it gives me a hard time. Hey, AJ, how are you, baby girl? I just want to. AJ, how are you? Oh yeah, girl? You guys can hear me. You guys can hear me. How are you, AJ? Good evening. Hello, everybody. So I'm going to be sending the link to a few people because sometimes they don't have their notifications turned on. So what I do is I send links to everybody, my friends and stuff, so they can sign in. How's everybody doing on this fine Wednesday? I'm just chilling here. Just inviting all my friends and family and everybody that I always invite to come on and join me. How's everybody doing tonight? I can hear you. I am amazing. And you, baby girl? I'm doing well. Thank God. We are alive and kicking. I took a nap earlier. I wasn't feeling well, but I'm here. And that's all that matters. But I'm here, you guys. And although I take a nap, I still feel tired. But anyways, just sending my links out. Just make sure everybody gets my link. We're going to talk about an interesting topic tonight, you guys. Emotional neglect is still neglect. We're going to talk about that tonight. I think that, let me tell you something. I think, sometimes we don't realize, like, when we have a partner, a girlfriend, boyfriend, husband, wife, it doesn't matter. You could be physically with somebody and still feel alone. And you guys know about that, because I know plenty of people that have been with people and they still feel alone even though they have a partner. And we're going to break it down as to why, you guys. I'm just sending out my links to everybody, you guys. I hope everybody's having a wonderful evening. Hi, Seth. How are you? Hi, La Jefa, baby girl. I'm glad you guys are here with me tonight. We're going to talk about an interesting topic. This has to do with relationships, past relationships, current relationships. It doesn't matter. It's always good to talk about these things because I know people go through a lot by themselves. Hi, Maria. How are you? Earrings are making me want onion rings. Oh, they look like giant onion rings, huh? Yeah, I know that a lot of people go through shit alone. And it's always good to talk about this shit. And this is a judgment-free zone. Wink if it grips. Oh my God, I don't even know what that means, but okay. But yeah, a lot of people go through some shit on their own when it comes to the relationship. They just don't like opening up to people. This is a judgment-free zone. And let me tell you, we're not here to judge nobody. And it's good to talk about these things, my peoples. Just letting y'all know. But anyways, I'm letting people come in, you guys. Thank you for being here with me tonight. Again, I'm your host, the Unforgettable. This is the Unfiltered Corner. So tonight, we will be talking about emotional neglect is still neglect in a relationship. We definitely talk about that tonight. Because I know many of my peoples. Everybody hit the like button. Please subscribe, turn on your notifications, subscribe to my channel, and share. And invite your peoples, because we have great topics. Things that we can talk about. I'm here in my thinking capsule. This is my thinking capsule, my vehicle. And I appreciate you guys being here with me tonight. I know it's not about drama and all this stuff, but I mean, it's interesting topics that we can all talk about, and some people can relate, and some people don't have nobody to talk to, and you can share anything you want here with our chat. So we're going to get started, all right? We're going to get started. You didn't cheat. You didn't lie. You didn't put your hands on me. So explain why I felt most alone when I was with you. Yeah, you guys ever been with somebody, even though they don't cheat, they don't lie, but you still feel alone and you're still with them? You're with them and you still feel alone. Their physical presence is there, but you feel alone. Raise your hand if you've been in a relationship like that. I've been in a relationship like that. And not for nothing, I am married. I've been with my husband 20 years, and there's times I still feel like that with my husband. And we're going to talk about it. And that's hard because you're physically with somebody and you still feel alone, which fucking sucks. That shit sucks. Imagine having somebody physically with you and you still feel alone. It feels like you're not with nobody. Because, I mean, you don't talk to them, nothing like that. Like, there's no communication. There's nothing. There's nothing there, you guys. And that sucks. You have to have communication with your partner. You have to spend time with your partner. You're not supposed to feel alone when you have somebody right next to you. At this point, if you feel alone when you have somebody next to you, then at this point, you might as well be single. Hola, Sorrios. Hi. So at this point, if you're with somebody and you feel alone, you shouldn't be in the relationship then, because it's not even worth it at the end of the day. All right? See, this is the part nobody wants to talk about. The quiet kind of damage. It's quiet damage. It's a silenced damage. Because you don't have to physically damage somebody. Emotionally, that's silence. You keep it quiet. And that's bad. That's worse than physical damage on a partner, on a wife, a husband, girlfriend, boyfriend, right? The I'm here, the ones that tell you that they're there, but you're really not here. They tell you they're there for you, but they're not, your partner. Those type of relationships. The half listening, because they don't listen to you. They half listen. They're too busy on their video games or on their phone scrolling, or they're always too busy with their friends or with everybody else. They're here, but they're not here. Does it make sense to you guys? Everybody that's listening? Tell me if it makes sense to you, you guys. They phone scroll, emotionally unavailable type of love. They're not emotionally available for you. And when you're with somebody, a person is supposed to be emotionally available for you. They're supposed to be there for you and love you and care for you and be emotionally there for you. They're not supposed to be disconnected. There's not supposed to be an emotional disconnect when it comes to you, okay? If you have a partner, you're not supposed to be emotionally disconnected. It's not right. Meaning, they're not supposed to be disconnected from you. They're supposed to be there for you. They're supposed to listen to you. You're supposed to feel like you have somebody next to you. Because at this point, it's like sleeping with the enemy. Like, at this point, it's no good. You think because there's no betrayal, there's no problem, you guys. But let me tell you something. Being ignored, when your partner ignores you, it will break you faster than being argued with. Being ignored, it will fucking tear you down emotionally and mentally. Faster than even getting hit by your partner. That shit will tear you down and make you feel like shit. Okay? At least an argument means you still care. When you argue, at least it means you still care. But when you're being ignored, that's a big problem in a relationship. Okay? Like, you're sitting right next to them, starving for a conversation, waiting for them to talk to you, waiting for them to ask you how your day went, waiting for them to ask you how you're feeling, and you're just there sitting, okay? Begging for a connection without even opening your mouth. You're begging for a connection with your partner. You should never be begging for a connection with your partner. With your husband, your wife, your girlfriend, boyfriend, and significant other. You should never beg a person for a connection or a conversation at that, and you comfortable, unbothered, present in body. These people are comfortable. They're present in body. They're physically present there, but they're unbothered, present in body, absent in every other way. They're absent emotionally. They're absent mentally. They're just not there. They're just physically there to say, I'm her man. I'm her girl. I'm his girl. That's all they're there for. Just to be there. At this point, you should be single. Because why do you have to be in a relationship where you can't have a conversation, where the other person doesn't ask you questions to see how your day went? They don't have conversation. They ignored you. They avoid you. They rather be on a phone scrolling. They rather be doing other shit than being interacting with their partner. You guys get where I'm coming from? So, and the craziest part, you guys, they have the audacity. These people, these type of people that are emotionally disconnected with you, these partners, husbands and wives and girlfriends and boyfriends, they have the audacity to ask you, what am I doing wrong? What am I doing wrong? You know how many times I got into it with my husband over that shit? And his question is always, what am I doing wrong? I don't go out of this house. I don't go out. I don't have friends. I don't have this and the third. What the hell does all that have to do with what we're talking about? That's the question. What does that have to do with anything? They never know what they're doing wrong. They feel like they ain't doing shit wrong. And that's wrong on all levels, okay? I didn't do anything wrong. That's the first thing out of their mouth. Exactly. You didn't do anything at all. That's right. You didn't do anything at all. You were just there physically and didn't do shit. That's exactly how it is. And that's the problem. Emotional neglect is still neglect. All right? And some of y'all are out here slowly losing people. Slowly dying inside. Because you think silence means peace. That's bullshit. Silence does not mean peace. If you're in a relationship with somebody, you should be communicating with your partner. Silence isn't peace. Silence, you're avoiding your partner. It's not peace. Silence is where love goes to die. The love you once had, the other person gets tired. You as a person, you get tired of begging for connections with your partner, to have conversations with your partner, to talk to them, to spend time with them, to get them off their social media, to get them off everything else. Hi, Damari, how are you? How you doing, baby girl? Silence will not only kill you, it will kill the love in the relationship, you guys. When somebody is emotionally neglecting you in a relationship, at this point, there's no point in carrying on in this relationship. Because they only see what they want to see. There's partners that only see what they want to see. What did I do wrong? I didn't do anything wrong. So we're going to get into that shit. Okay? You didn't hit me, right? You didn't cheat. You didn't leave. But somehow I still felt completely alone with you. They don't have to hit you. They don't have to cheat. But they make you feel alone because they're not there for you. They don't ask you how your day went. They don't talk to you. They don't like interacting with you as a partner. You don't have to do all this extra shit. Just by avoiding me and not having conversation with me and asking how my day went and not talking to me and doing other things, right then and there, I feel alone. And sometimes you start questioning these relationships. Like, why am I in this relationship if that's what I'm going to deal with? You feel me, guys? Nobody talks about the kind of pain that doesn't leave bruises, just distance. It's not all about the bruises, it's distance emotionally. You become very detached because your partner too busy scrolling through Instagram and Facebook and on their other social media platforms. They're too busy hanging out with their friends. They're too busy scrolling through a computer. They're too busy putting everything else first, and they don't give a fuck about your emotions and your feelings. Straight up. This episode is about the damage people minimize. They make it little. The damage people that, the damage that people make little bit, like little, small, because it doesn't look toxic on the outside. We gotta stop minimizing the damage this does to people. This does great damage. You know why? Because when a partner is like that with you and they don't give you love and they don't communicate with you and they don't ask you how your day is going, they don't ask you shit, they don't talk to you, they're just so busy in their own little world that they're there just to be there. That damages you as a person. You know why? Because when you move on in life and you decide to leave this person for the way they treated you, now you carry that burden on you, and now you're afraid to get in a relationship because you already dealt with that. Now you think every other person that you get with is going to have the same problem. That's the problem. It causes issues. And at the end of the day, some of these partners still won't see that there's still something wrong with them. You can leave them and they'll still continue to be the same person. Well, you know what, sir, ma'am? You're going to be lonely for the rest of your life if you continue to neglect your partner. I'm sorry. Because ain't nobody ready to be neglected in a marriage, in a relationship. You need to be there for your partner. And you know what's the worst part? It be the people that neglect you that you're the most there for them. I'm there a lot for my husband. I listen to him. I support him. But it be those type of people that neglect you the most. It's like they're selfish, egotistical. They're self-centered. That's why we got to set fucking boundaries. Because it's not all about them and by themselves. It's about you too. You count in this marriage. You count in this relationship. And we're going to talk about what emotional neglect actually looks like, you guys, okay? And we're going to break it down in real relatable ways, okay? Being ignored when you're clearly not okay. I just got out this 1 year and 8 months ago. That's avoidance. Even setting boundaries don't work. Absolutely. I've come across the avoidant type. My husband can be avoidant. It's annoying because when you don't give, avoidant people, for those that are just watching, when avoidant people are people that if you love bomb them too much, they become avoidant. They try to avoid you. They don't like it. They feel suffocated. But when you don't show them affection at all because you feel like you don't know where's the balance. When you don't show it to them, they feel like you're neglecting them. Those are avoidant people. It sucks because it drives you crazy as a person. And don't see nothing wrong with it. They don't see nothing wrong with that shit. Conversations that go nowhere. How about those conversations that go nowhere? You good? Yeah. End of discussion. You ask them, you good? What's up with you? Are you okay? Like it's little short answers. Those type of conversations. The ones that just a short answer, they really don't get into it with you, and then they kind of continue to do what they're doing. Those type of conversations. That's emotional neglect. You're walking on eggshells. Absolutely, AJ. Absolutely. Feeling like you have to water yourself down, meaning you need to bring yourself down a few notches, down to avoid being too much. You need to water yourself down and change who you are to avoid being too much on your partner. That's emotional neglect. Those are signs of that shit. Your partner being physically there but mentally checked out. Listen, I've been in this situation. I'm on and off with the situation in my marriage as we speak. They're physically here. Yeah, they go. My husband goes to work. He's physically here. He's my husband. He's my children's father. Yes, all this stuff. He's a good man. But emotionally, he's checked out sometimes. And I'm like, I have to check that shit real quick. Because it gets annoying and it gets draining. And you know what happens when people treat you like this, you guys? You start to seek comfort with other people. And that's where the cheating starts. And the loyalty starts to end. And you start looking for what you're missing in your relationship with other people. No curiosity about your thoughts, feelings, or the day. They have no curiosity of your feelings, of your day, of your thoughts, of anything. They don't give a fuck what you did today, if you ate, what you did, what you went through. They don't give a fuck about what you have to tell them. They don't give a fuck about that shit. I talked to Laura more than all my marriage in 16 years. I hate avoidance. Absolutely. Avoidance are the most terrible people you could come across. When you love bomb them, they don't want it. And when you don't do it, they feel like you're neglecting them. Like there's no balance there. Honey, at the end of the day, AJ, let me tell you something. You're not the problem then. Just put that in mind. When you're dealing with an avoidant person, you're not the problem. They're the problem. They have mental instability. They're unstable mentally. It's not you. It's them. And it's awful to deal with people like that. Because then it drives you fucking crazy. Because you don't know where to meet the balance, the middle, to try to be good to this person, not over love them because they get avoidant and they feel like they're You're suffocating them, but at the same time, if you don't give them the love, they feel like you're not doing something for them. It's awful. Dealing with people like that is fucking awful. Some of y'all aren't in peaceful relationships. Remember that. Some of y'all are not in peaceful relationships. You're in silent ones. Imagine being with somebody that you're always silent. I'm going to tell you right now, I've been with my husband for 20 years. And sometimes I feel like this. I'll be like, I tell him sometimes, I was like, listen, at this point, we're roommates. Because we sleep on the same bed. And you're in your own little zone. You put your headphones on. You put your videos on, YouTube. Or you're on your phone. Or you're playing video games. You come from work, you're on video games and doing other things. Like, at this point, I don't understand. It's silent. And it gets annoying. It gets annoying. And then when you start to question them, they get upset with you. Like you the problem. Why are you mad? Because I'm questioning you, because I'm trying to figure out what the hell is the problem. And I'm telling you what bothers me. You can't get mad because I'm trying to tell you what bothers me. People cannot get mad for those reasons. You have all right to speak up in your relationship and tell them how you feel. And I'm going to break it down to you, the slow damage, why it hurts so much. The slow damage, what it causes slowly with you when you're dealing with this emotional neglect, okay? It's not loud. It's consistent. It's not loud because remember, you're in a silent relationship, but it's consistent. It's consistently happening to you, okay? You start questioning yourself instead of them. You start to question yourself instead of the other person, okay? You start to question, am I enough? Am I good enough for this person? Does he love me? What did I do wrong? You start to question yourself in a relationship like this, okay? You start to question yourself instead of them. And you start to kind of second guess yourself, okay? You feel needy for wanting basic emotional connection. You become needy. You start to want. You start to become like desperate for the attention from the other half, okay? From the boyfriend, the girlfriend, the husband, or the wife, okay? Loneliness hits harder when you're not supposed to be alone. That's when it hits the hardest, you guys. Give me 1 minute, you guys. All right, you guys. Sorry about that. So, loneliness hits harder when you're not supposed to be alone. Imagine you're in a relationship, you feel alone, it hits the hardest. Because there's no connection there emotionally. There's no conversation. There's no talking with your partner. There's nothing going on there. You know what I'm saying? And it sucks, you guys. Arguing means we still care. Silence, that's where relationships go to die. They die off, people. When it becomes a silent relationship, it starts to die out slowly. You start to kind of like go on your own path. Your partner starts to go on their own path, and you just start doing your own thing. And it starts to die slowly. And emotions just start to shift. And you're just all over the damn place. That's what happens. And there's times you don't even realize it, and then there's times that you do realize it. There's times you realize it, sometimes you don't realize it. And your partner sometimes don't even realize it either. Because they haven't given you the opportunity to explain how you feel and what you're going through. You understand what I'm saying, you guys? Now we're going to talk about emotional neglect versus they just need space. Emotional neglect versus they need space. we're going to give you examples, all right? Healthy space equals communicated, respectful, temporary. You guys communicated it. That's healthy space. They tell you, listen, I need some space. I want to do this, or I'm going to do this. They let you know what they're going to do. I got to get this done. I'm going to do this today. I'm going to watch the game today. I'm going to play the game for just an hour. Like, they let you know. We're going to hang out later. That's healthy space. It's communicated. It's respectful. And it's only temporary. It's not consistent. Okay? Emotional neglect equals avoidance. AJ just spoke about that. An avoidant person. Disconnection and a pattern. Or they tell you you're not worth them changing, or they just married you for money. Absolutely. Or they tell you you're not worth them changing. Yeah. It's awful. They make you feel like the most worst person in the world. And here you are, you're trying to be good to them. You know, you're trying to be open to your partner. And then they say some fucked up shit like that. That's awful. Now I'm going to give you examples. I just need space. And what this means to these people, they disappear and they don't give you any reassurance when they tell you I need space. Okay? Avoiding hard conversations completely. Avoiding it at all costs. They don't want to talk about it. They avoid it. They try to tell you that they don't want to hear it. Or they kind of stay quiet. They don't even answer to what you're asking them, anything like that. Avoiding hard conversations completely. They continue to keep it moving. Can you get me the charger to the iPhone so I can put it to this one? Look, it's at 16%, please, or 18. And just look the other one. Only engaging when it's convenient. They only engage with you when it's convenient, when they want something from you. They'll only talk to you when they want something from you, or they need something from you, or if it's about them. You guys notice that? They'll only talk to you when it's something about them. But when it's something about you, they could give 3 fucks about. They don't care about it. Okay? Stop calling it space, you guys. When you're really just unavailable. They need to stop calling it space. They're just really unavailable to you. That's all it is. It's not space. But that's what they call it. They're kind of like using it as like a band-aid. It's space. But in all reality, they're just avoiding you. They're just trying to disappear. They don't want to talk about hard conversations. And they're just emotionally unavailable to you as a partner. Okay? Now we're going to talk about the breaking point. Okay? With emotional neglect. With your partner, with your wife, with your husband, with your girlfriend, with your boyfriend, with girlfriend and girlfriend and boyfriend and boyfriend. Because I know people have all types of relationships in the world. When the breaking point is when one partner stops trying, that shit happens. There comes a point in time when I stop trying. I'm like, you know what? I've been telling you this. You've been avoiding me. I'm talking to you about this. It happens with my husband all the time. And I stop trying. I just don't give any effort to it anymore. And I just keep it moving. Oh, he's on his game again. Okay, I'll just go to the room. Oh, he has his headphones on. I'll just do something else. Oh, he's on the phone scrolling. Then I'll try to do something else. And it gets tiring. And I stop trying because I don't have to beg a partner. I've been for so many years for attention, and I don't have to beg them for communication. I don't have to beg them for none of that shit. Okay. Another example of the breaking point is when I'm tired really means I'm done begging. Absolutely. You start saying that you're tired. And what that really means is you're done begging the person. You're done asking them for the attention. You're done asking them to communicate with you. You're done asking them that you want to talk to them. You're done asking them for time. You're done asking. That's actually what it means. The I'm tired phrase is basically you're really done begging, okay? Now, the emotional shutdown. They don't argue, don't complain, they detach. This is the breaking point for you guys, the ones dealing with people like this. You don't argue anymore, you don't complain, you detach. That's the breaking point in your life. You don't argue about it anymore. You don't try to make a point across anymore to your partner. You don't try to ask them questions anymore. You don't try to ask them to be there for you. You don't try to, nothing. You just slowly detach and just start not giving a fuck. You don't start arguing anymore. You don't start giving effort in. Because that's how it starts. You start asking them questions and it becomes an argument with your partner. Okay? And you don't complain anymore. You start to not complain about it because you're so used to it. Because you're starting to become so detached. Like, what is complaining and arguing going to get you? Nothing. It hasn't gotten you anything for years or ever how long you've been with your partner. Now, and then it comes to this. I didn't leave when I was hurt. I left when I felt nothing. Some people don't leave when they're hurt. Because if they're hurting, they still care. They left when they felt nothing. They felt abandoned and they felt alone. That's when they fucking left. Because some people are stronger than others. Some people just don't give a fuck. When they start feeling like that, they're just like, fuck this relationship, I'm gonna keep it moving. And some people stay there to see with the expectations that the person's gonna change, and with the expectations that the person's gonna be better, and with the expectation that they're gonna finally be heard. And then it gets so bad that it becomes messy, and then you have to leave this relationship. Some people wait, and some people just don't give a fuck. They just keep it moving. And that's why we're getting into this topic right now about this. Why people stay even when they feel alone. We're going to tell you guys why people stay. And I've been guilty of this. I'm going to explain to you guys why people stay when they feel alone and they feel like this in a relationship, okay? You start to say to yourself, at least they're not cheating. You keep that mindset. At least they're not cheating. Or at least, they're not beating on me. At least they're not being physically abusive. You start to make fucking excuses, bro. At least they're not doing this. You keep a mindset. You build a mindset. You start to supposedly outweigh the bad and the good. But at least they do these things good. Yeah? How about the rest of it? You can't be half-assed in a relationship. You can't do that. Another reason why people stay is fear of starting over. A lot of people fear of starting over with new people because now you have to get to know another person. You have to learn their bad habits, their good habits. You have to learn a lot from the new person now. And you don't know if it's going to work out. You don't know if this person is just going to come play with you. You don't know if this person is just going to want to sleep with you and keep it moving. You don't know if this person is going to be a pathological liar. You don't know if this person is going to be a fucking, a serial cheater. You don't know what this person is going to turn on to be. You don't know if this person is going to be physically abusive. You don't know. So a lot of people stay because they have fear of starting all over again. I stayed because I felt if I left, I failed. Absolutely. I used to have no respect for myself. Now I know my value. Absolutely. You learn your self-worth. Okay? You felt if you left, you failed. And I think a lot of people here, AJ, feel like that. They feel like if they leave, they failed their relationship, and they feel like they're giving up, and they feel like you should fight for your relationship. It's true. It's true. Or they're trying to prove a point. Because a lot of, in a lot of relationships, there's problems with like, let's say if my husband's family dislike me, right? Which they do. Like, if I was to stay with him and deal with this shit because I'm trying to prove a point, because they've always told them, she's going to leave you and we're always going to be here for you, and you're trying to prove a point. Either you're trying to prove a point or you feel like you're failing. Absolutely. I totally understand that, AJ. Okay? Then, another reason why people stay is they're hoping the version you fell for comes back. They're hoping that the version that they fell in love with and loved at the beginning comes back. That's what they're hoping for. Also, confusing comfort with connection. You start to confuse comfort with having connections. Confusing comfort with connection. Can't confuse that. There has to be a connection with your partner. You have to be connected with your partner. Emotionally and in all sorts of ways. Bare minimum loyalty without emotional presence. Listen to this. I'm going to break it down to you guys. Bare minimum loyalty without emotional presence is not love. It's convenience. Bare minimum loyalty without emotional presence is not love. It's not love, you guys. I'm sorry to tell you. I'm sorry to break it down to you. We all learning. When I talk about these things, we all learning. Without emotional presence in a relationship, it's not love. It's convenience. You're just conveniently there for them. That's all it is. Hold on, you guys. I'm sorry, you guys. I'm asking for a charger so I can put it on here. I'm on live. All right, guys. Hold on. I'm just connecting the charger here, you guys, to the phone that I'm currently using. We don't want my freaking live to go down. Yesterday, my live went down. It wasn't because it died. The phone just acted crazy and people were calling. All right. There we go. Now we're charging. So back to what I'm saying. Now we're going to get to the accountability segment, all right? For the neglectful partner, we're going to break it down. This is for the neglectful partner. Are you actually present or just available when it suits you or it's convenient for you? The neglectful partner don't even know how to answer that shit. Are you actually present? That goes to the people that are being neglectful to their partners. They're being neglectful to their partners. Are you actually present or just being available when it's convenient for you? When it suits you? I'm just letting him know I don't need the charger. I don't need the charger anymore. I don't need it. I got one. Okay, guys. Do you dismiss emotions because they make you feel uncomfortable? This is for the neglectful partner. Do you dismiss emotions because they make you feel uncomfortable? Because, of course, a person that's neglecting their partner, once you start asking them questions and you start telling them stuff and talking to them, what happens? All of a sudden, they're uncomfortable. Because they don't want to open up to you. They don't want to talk to you. Are you relying on your partner to just understand without effort? These neglectful partners want you to understand without effort. They just want you to understand. The ones that say, oh, I'm just like this. You got to love me the way I am. Oh, Jesus Christ. That shit fucking gets on my nerves. You got to love me like this because this is just the way I am. No. Because if I was a cheater consistently, then you need to accept me like this because this is just the way I am. Imagine that. I know damn well this neglectful partner wouldn't want me to say that shit to them. Or I like doing this. I like going out every weekend and coming back at home at 3 a.m. But this is how I am. You need to accept me for who I am, right? You need to accept me for who I am. I hate that shit. When they tell you, you need to accept me for who I am. This is just me. Or this is just me. That excuse. That shit pisses me off. Absolutely not. There's always room for change. There's always room to make things better. There's always room to make things better. Okay? There's no, oh, this is just me. You have to accept me for who I am. Absolutely not. It's wrong. Okay? And this goes for the neglected partner. The person that's being neglected, okay? Are you over-explaining to someone who stopped listening? Don't you find yourself over-explaining yourself to somebody that just stops listening and don't give a fuck and is avoiding you? I find myself consistently over-explaining. I found myself multiple times in this predicament of doing the over-explaining and trying to get the point across. But they don't fucking get it, or they don't care to get it. And they don't give a fuck, okay? I'm going to ask the person that's being neglected that's watching me, are you shrinking yourself to keep the peace? Imagine shrinking your emotions and shrinking what you're feeling and keeping within you everything you're feeling just to keep the peace in the relationship. I think that that's the most fucked up thing a person can fucking live. Yes, I used to. Absolutely. You shrink yourself. So just so you could keep the peace. That's not right. I'm telling you right now, everybody that's watching me, it is not right to shrink yourself and what you're feeling and what you're going through just to keep the peace with your partner because they're neglecting you. It's not okay. You need to wake up from that. You need to put your foot down. It's not right. Absolutely not. It's not okay. All right? Just letting you know this right now. Why are you accepting crumbs and calling it patience? Why are we dealing with this type of shit? Crumbs, minimal effort, and calling it patience. Why are you doing that to yourself? I even asked myself this too. Why am I accepting crumbs and bare minimum effort and this type of behavior, and I'm calling it patience? Why am I doing this to myself? It's not okay. It's not right. Okay? And I apologize, you guys. I keep on putting on mute and stuff because he keeps on coming down here and distracting my lives. It's like I tell him this every single day. Stop coming here and distracting my lives. This is my space, my time. This is my audience. This is what I like to do. You need to stop distracting me because he doesn't like me distracting him for shit. That's another thing. They don't like you distracting them for shit. They don't like you bothering them for shit, but they have the right and they feel like and they have the audacity to do it to you. My time is my time. Don't come down here opening the